What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Full Throttle Drive. Thank you so much for joining me on today's video. So lately our hot topic around the Corvette C8 has been the renders. Now we've talked about this quite a few times, and with the Corvette C8 coming and debuting July 18th, 2019, not too far away, just about a month and a half away. We're getting so close and I cannot wait. But we've been talking about renders lately, and a lot of people are a little bit still unsold on a lot of the renders. Now I think the individuals that do the renders do a phenomenal job. They do a great job with what they have, but a lot of us are aware that GM Chevrolet, they are hiding a lot with their bits and parts. The camouflage that we see are definitely hiding a lot of the intricate detail under there. So the people that put out renders, they only have so much to go on. They do a little bit of guessing, but I think they do a great job, and I'm really impressed with what we've seen so far. But this leads us to today's video. Chaz Cron did an incredible job with his newest video. He actually has a walk around where the Corvette C8, the C8 mid-engine Corvette, is sitting in a driveway, and it looks so realistic, and he's placed it there, and it's a walk around. It is incredible. I mean, obviously we can still see it's a bit of a render, but this looks so real, and I think it is very cool. And I think what would be fun is when I actually get my C8 Corvette is I do the same type of walk around, and we'll do a comparison video, see how close he got. But again, I'm super impressed. I'm blown away with the detail that we see in this video. So let's not take any longer. I'm going to show you those two videos right now. Okay, so as you can see, these videos look so good. As I said, so detailed, and it just is a great perspective. It's amazing how well they can get this with their CAD designs, the eyes and the angles of every aspect of this car. Now, it's really neat to see this because, as I've told you guys, I feel like 2D photos that we see only do so much justice. It's really the 3D, especially the walking around the car, that gives us the best perspective, and it gives us an understanding of the lines of the car. I've talked about this many times, and again, I think that it's really important to see these different views of the car, but in a 3D space, and this gives us a great perspective for that. But again, I think Chaz Cron hit it out of the park with this. So if we take a moment to actually break down the car, take an observation from this video, I think we know the front of the car is very close to a lot of these renders. Yes, the front bumper may be a bit different. There may be some camouflage bits in there, but I think the front body lines, the hood, I think everything's going to be almost spot on with what these renders look like versus what is debuted for the C8 mid-engine Corvette. But as we move to the sides of the car, this is where the biggest caveat with the car is going to be, is the side air intakes. And what we have seen over time is different looking side air intakes. It's very interesting, as well as the side door. Because of where the door handle sits, we've almost seen this big curvature where the side air intake kind of runs into the overhang for the door handle. It's a kind of an interesting concept, but what we don't know is, with this movement of different leaked photos we have of the spy shots, with this changing, it certainly leaves it to the debate of whether this is going to be correct, whether these renders are going to be spot on, or maybe GM is adding extra fluff. They have extra bits of camouflage and just kind of padding that changes the sides of the car. It's amazing what they can do with camouflage and extra little padding. So we got to know that the sides of the car, I think, are what could change the most. And I don't know what most people are unsold on. For me, it is the back of the car. And as we move to the back of the car and talk about it a little little bit, I think we know that this for the most part is going to look the closest to what renders actually look like. We know what the taillights for the most part look like. Now, this is where the kind of boxy Camaro hate comes in, and I kind of agree with a lot of you guys. I think that this looks very Camaro-ish. I'm hoping it looks a lot more aggressive in person. Now, we got to remember that the car is going to sit lower and look more aggressive. So in person, it is going to look different than a Camaro. It's going to look more aggressive, but with the taillights and a little bit of the boxiness, I still think it'll give a little bit of hint towards the Camaro. We'll see. I'm hoping there are some changes, but I think the front and the back of the car is where we really have gotten spot on. The sides. Now, I'm not as worried about the sides. I think the sides of the car are going to look really cool. Those side air intakes are going to be very neat, regardless of what the designers end up doing. I think they're probably going to nail those. The back of the car, that's where I'd like to see some changes. The squared quad tips on each side, we have dual tips, so a quad exhaust kind of setup that is on each side. I don't care for the boxiness. Again, there's more boxiness there. That might be changeable though. You might be able to change out a rear diffuser, put on a upgraded exhaust kit, which is something I definitely think I will be doing with the car. A lot of Chevrolets, a lot of Corvettes come with not quite enough throatiness. We want a little bit more sound out of the exhaust. So an aftermarket exhaust could certainly change that from maybe the squared to a rounded tip. We'll see. But until we get the final product, we don't know everything about the styling of the car, but very, very exciting news, and I think it's something that you guys seem to really enjoy. Again, a very hot topic in our Corvette C8 community. The last thing that I wanted to throw into today's video is about the autonomous features that people are talking about on the forums about the C8 Corvette. And again, nobody knows all of this information yet, it's just speculation, but a lot of people are wondering if the new C8 Corvette with the new digital infrastructure that's going into it is going to have lots of these autonomous features that we're seeing on new cars. Audi, Mercedes, obviously Tesla, all have some very high quality autonomous features. Now, this is my guess, is I don't think we're going to see this on the mid-engine Corvette. I don't think it's something that GM is going to add because I don't think it's something needed. While Corvettes have changed over the years, they've become more comfortable, more refined. Certainly people don't seem to buy Corvettes because they don't want to drive them, that they just want them to be autonomous. It's a driver's car. All that time spent to actually try to refine the car still comes back to the driving experience of the car. People spend the money to buy the Corvette so they can drive it, so they can feel the power, not just so it can be autonomous. And I think to keep the pricing down, they're not going to add a lot of those features. While we may see adaptive cruise control, collision assist, and different things like that, maybe possibly lane keeping assist as well, but nothing fully autonomous. I don't think that's going to be something that's going to go into this car, and honestly, I don't think it's something that's needed. And while we continue to get more sophisticated in the electronics that we have in our cars, I think it's something that we could skip on the C8 Corvette, and honestly, I'm hoping we do, or possibly just be a package add-on later. I don't need it to be a base feature. It's not something that I would use in my Corvette. I want to be able to drive the car, and I think a lot of you guys agree with me on this point. We don't buy Corvettes, and especially it's not something you could ever use at the track. A lot of guys buy Corvettes as just a track vehicle, and then they of course modify it from there. It would be something where they'd never use an autonomous feature unless I guess they were driving to and from the track and use it on the highways, but something that I think we could skip or leave as a package. Just something I wanted to talk about with you guys as I see it as a trending topic on the forums. Now, as always, guys, I want to hear what your guys' thoughts are. What did you think about the video of the walk around? Do you guys think that these renders are going to be very close, or do you think they're very far off? What are you guys seeing out of the renders versus the spy shots? Make your guesses here. I love to hear what you guys think in the comments, and I'm always trying to respond to you guys, give you my input, but I love hearing what my community thinks about the C8 Corvette. Again, this is a huge part of this channel because eventually that's where we're going, owning the C6. I'm looking at C7s, but I think with the debuting of this being so close, we're just going to move on to the C8 mid-engine Corvette. I think it's going to do great things for you guys, the content I'm going to be able to make, and hopefully you guys are going to enjoy everything revolving around this Corvette. I cannot wait to add it to my garage so that we can add it to the channel. So guys, thank you so much for joining me on today's video. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please support my channel, hit that thumbs up. I would truly appreciate appreciate all of your guys' awesome support. If you are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would absolutely love to have you join our community. Any new additions is always great. I hope you guys all have a great day. Thank you all. Take care. We'll see you next video.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.